Welcome everyone to today's webinar. My name is Stephanie and I'm the Operations Manager at Coaching Out of the Box. We'll be spending the next hour learning more about network marketing and how you can leverage these very simple techniques to grow your coaching business. We would love to learn where you are joining us from today, so please comment in the chat your location. Before we get started, just a couple of housekeeping items. I would love to draw your attention to the Q&A button. As questions come up for you during the session, please put them in there. We will have time at the end for questions. Remember to post chat to everyone, not just panelists, so we can all see your comments and/or questions. Jeanette, did you want to move to the next slides, please? So before I introduce our speaker today, I'd like to ask you this one question. What is your biggest struggle to grow your coaching business? I look forward to seeing your answers in the chat. I would love to introduce you to Pablo, our Chief Operations Officer, as he leads this discussion on network marketing. Pablo has successfully grown 3 businesses using this technique. Take it away, Pablo.
Thanks, Stephanie. Yeah, a pleasure, everybody. Thank you for spending the next hour or so with us and learning a little bit more about how to network your business. Like you said, Stephanie, I am the Chief Operating Officer here at Coaching Out of the Box. And I have, I guess, first, my main role here at Coaching Out of the Box is to support Stephanie and Jeanette and everybody in the team in our operations every day, on a daily and weekly and monthly and yearly operations. And as well, I have used what I'm going to talk about here in a few minutes multiple times successfully. And the key thing here is I'd love to just keep it as informal or as formal as possible, both, so that I get some interaction from everybody here. And I don't spend the next hour or so speaking by myself, trying to just say what I believe is network marketing. So I do want to open it up as much as possible to questions in the chat and just to get some real live feedback on what we're going to talk about. So let's move on to the next slide, please. All right, so let's start with where are you at in your business? Maybe there's some folks here that are already in business for a while. You're at a certain point in your coaching business career, and you've got some clients already. Maybe you're just starting, you're going through the program, and so there's different levels of where everybody's at. And the idea is that I try to cover everybody's needs, hopefully today. And I'd love to hear a little bit, maybe you can put in the chat, how long have you been in business? How are you doing in your practice? What would you like to see today? As far as, could be something as simple as, I already know how to network, I just want to go to the next level. And how do I do that? Or I'm just getting started, where do I start? So I'd love to see just a little bit of where's everybody at here on your practice. Chat there. Starting, where do I start? Perfect. From Edmonton, Alberta, lovely Renee. Just getting started, perfect. So this way I'll get a sense of kind of where where I should focus my efforts here. Oh, okay, awesome. So what is referral? What is network marketing, which is also referral marketing? So it really is the same thing, right? Can you go back? Yeah, here we go. So if we just look at the definition of referral marketing, it is a method of spontaneously promoting a business, product, and service to new customers by word of mouth. All right. So what does that mean exactly? It just means that maybe I know one of you and I've used your service, and I tell somebody else about it, and that person goes and calls you, and they start using you. And so that's basically, it's a word of mouth, passing along and promoting everybody's businesses. Now, by far, there's no question that network marketing is the most cost-effective way to grow your business. What's another way to grow your business? I mean, just put in the chat, what would be, so yes, you can just do some network marketing, but what's another way? Just out of curiosity, what do you think is another way to grow your business? There's social media marketing. There's, you can actually spend some actual dollars promoting your business through radio, could be advertising in TV, but that gets really expensive really fast, right? So let's just go to the next, Jeanette. Okay, so the right way, because I find that there's a bit of a strategy around this, because you can just go to a networking event. Let's say you're invited to some business event, and you show up, and there's lots of coffee, there's lots of people, everybody's got their business cards ready, and how do you do this properly? How do you go into a room and work in a way that's going to get you results? And what's the way to do that? We're going to talk a little bit about that, because I find that some people get very frustrated around this how to do this properly. It also has to do a lot to do with your personality, right? And we're going to talk about that as well a little bit. So first things first, you have to be clear about who is your market when you're growing your business as a coach. Do you just want to market to, you just want to coach anybody and everybody? Is that what you want to do? Maybe that's your strategy. Maybe your market is CEOs or in small businesses or in large organizations. So it depends a lot on your background, right? So identifying who is your target market, asking yourself, who do you really love to work? Because it makes a big difference, right? When we are very clear about who we like to work with, we're going to attract people. And please put on the chat, how many times have you gone out there and just said yes to anybody? You end up working with a client or somebody that you just completely dislike, and you're like, why the hell am I working with this person? Just put in the chat real quick, yes, no, whatever it is. Does that happen ever before? Yeah, Matt, Eddie, yeah, okay. So you can relate, right? So here we are growing our businesses. We may be at a stage where we just want revenue, so who cares? Whatever show, take it. And the next thing I'm like, oh no, I don't like this person, but I need the revenue. How do I deal with this issue? So the way to get over this hump is to be, would you really like to work with? So creating that persona, write it out. I love to work with people that are in the wellness industry, doctors, could be nurses, whatever it is. Just be very clear. Maybe you're already in that space, so that's easy to attract those types of people. Maybe you're in the education space. You want to go to the schools and universities, right? So on that note as well, you want to also be aware of who do you not want to work with. That means I don't want to work with engineers, let's say, for the sake of that. I don't want to work with doctors. So eliminate those people that you have it clear. I don't want to work with these people. So when people show up at your doorstep, you'll know, right? You might have to take them. That's just the nature of the beast at the beginning, but at least you're aware. And the reality is, you know how it works. The more clear we are about what we want, that's where we're going to be paying more attention and the people we're going to attract. And that's just how it works. So with that, we're very clear about how do we, when we're meeting somebody, let's say at a networking event, we got 7 seconds usually, or 12 or whatever it is. How are you going to pitch them very, very quickly on what do you do? I'm going to talk a little bit more about this in a second, okay? Another one really important is connecting, right? How do we connect? Because clients, so let's see, do you guys agree with this? Clients don't really care about what I do. They're only interested in how you can help solve a problem. Do you agree with that, with that statement? Put it in the chat. It's okay to say no. It's okay to say, Pablo, you're out to lunch, whatever. What do you think? Yes, yes? Okay. So what do we usually, there's a lot of people, as we're kind of wearing our sales hat, and we go into a networking event, or we are sitting in front of a potential client, and there's a tendency that we want to show, that we want to prove to them. And, here we are, a lot of us, or coaches to be, and what are we learning? We're learning that we really need to connect with that person. That's the key element. So one of the big mistakes that we usually make when we're trying to sell something is we show up with what's important for us, and we kind of start talking really fast, and we're saying all these things, we're trying to prove all our credentials and who we worked with and all these things. And the client's sitting there saying, well, that's great, Pablo, but how are you going to help me? Here's my problem, right? Yeah, you guys agree? Okay. They certainly only care about you in the context of their site, exactly, of their life and problem. Yeah, I love it. That's right, Peter. All right, let's move on to the next one, please. Okay, so what's your value proposition? Okay, we're going to go back to what I said in the last slide about that pitch, right? So let's say we walk into a networking event of some sort, and we're going to get at that event, or many people, right? And I have found multiple times that the clearer we are in our message, the more people can help us, okay? So that means if I just go in and say, hi, my name is Pablo, I'm a coach, and I love working with people. Okay, does that tell you anything? Is that anything interesting at all? Does that tell you anything? Or I'm an ICF internationally certified coach with 3 years of experience in whatever. It could be working with CEOs or CFOs or something like that. And I focus on corporate communication to improve team efficiency and increase profits. And today, you know what I'm looking for X, Y, and Z, right? And so what a difference, right? What a difference it is to be very, very specific and clear, right? When we're sitting in front of somebody, people, our span of attention is very, very short. We want to know in a second, how can I help you potentially? Or what do you do so that I can, here's the reality, if you're at a networking event, you're probably thinking about how can you get business, not how, if somebody else is talking to you, you're really thinking about, is this person going to be a potential referral partner for me or a potential client? Something like that, right? So that potential initial contact is going to be key to telling them, who are you? What do you do? What are you looking for? Right? Okay. Let's go to the next one. So again, going into understanding, who are you? What's your, when you're coming into, who are you? Number one, that's who are you exactly? Are you a nurturer, a promoter, an examiner, a go-getter? How many of you have seen this before? Just type it in the chat. Me, have you seen it first time? How many of you have seen this before? And do you know who you are, most importantly? So maybe type in the chat, who are you? And so first time, and yes, okay. So for those of you, just quickly go through this list and try to put in the chat, who are you? Who do you identify with? A nurturer, slow-paced person, or a person oriented, dislikes confrontations and takes care of others. Okay, we got a nurturers here. Another nurturer. Yes, another nurturer. Yes. And here's a little thing. Of course, most of us potential coaches, we're probably going to be where? We're probably going to be the nurturing side, right? Just out of exactly where we are. Examiner and go-getter, love it. That's Deborah, an examiner and nurturer, Betty, awesome. And me, okay, awesome, yeah. So another piece of this, though, is we may have one of these be kind of our core value or core sort of identifier, but we all have a little bit of each in ourselves. And sometimes we may switch between one and the other, depending on really where we are that day specifically. Most likely, if we're going into nerd, we're going to probably be pushing more towards a promoter or a go-getter type of space because, we're looking for business, right? And so, but if I'm a nurturer, then I'm going to have to really push myself to go to the promoter side. Or if I'm an examiner and I really don't want to interact with people, this is now becoming quite a bit of work because I don't want to really go into a place where I have to go out of my comfort zone, right? Now, if I'm a promoter or a go-getter, I'm in my, if I'm in a room with 100 people, I'm in my element, right? I'm feeling good. I want to show off and I want people to pay attention to me. So the key thing with this slide and with this piece is understanding who we are as we're going through the process of growing our business really is important because who is our key client? Are we going to relate better to a promoter? If I'm a nurturer, Am I going to relate better to a promoter, or am I going to relate better to a go-getter if I'm a nurturer? If I'm an examiner, am I going to relate better to who, right? If I'm a promoter, then, so whichever one you are, the point that I'm trying to make here is that as we're going through the process of identifying potential clients for ourselves, and the more we know about who we are, then we can connect with that person better. Because if we go back, can you just go back to I think it's the last slide for a second, Jeanette? If you go back to the last slide, the one before, sorry, one before. So it's that connection. We're looking for connecting, right? We're trying to connect with that. So go back to the normal slide. So to the slide that we were before. So as we understand who our client is, and we're trying to meet them in their energy and connecting with them, but understanding who we are as one of these, well, that's going to be a better fit as a client, isn't it? You guys agree with that? Am I making sense of what I'm trying to say here? Just put yes, no. Pablo, go get a coffee. Go get a tequila. Yes. Okay, Alexandra. Yes. Okay. That's right. Right. So all I'm trying to point out here is the more we know about ourselves, the better we are going to be able to identify who we want to work with. Right. It's that around quality versus quantity. Right. It's about, if I've got a client that I know from day one is a promoter or a go-getter, and I am potentially an examiner or a nurturer, can I actually have this as a client? Yes, the answer is yes, you will. You're definitely able to do it, but you're aware of how you need to meet their energies, right? Especially at the beginning, before the coaching engagement, right? Because that's when that client is going to say, yes, I want to work with Pablo, or I want to work with Lorena, or I want to work with Francine, because you'll understand better how to meet those energies, okay? So like I said, none of these are better or worse. It's just understanding who we are as we're going through this process of identifying our potential clients that we want to work with, okay? And also, I'm going to go back to the example of networking. If we're going to a networking event and we go into this room and there's going to be little groups formed, let's say it's a 50 people event, and you're just before, maybe there's going to be a key speaker, but there's a bit of mingling or interacting portion of the meeting, and then we're going to see these different groups. And okay, so let me ask you, there's going to be one group with a gentleman, or it could be anybody, a gentleman or a woman that is the center of attention, okay? And this person is moving their hands around, and everybody's paying attention to this person, and they're loud. So who are they? Obviously a promoter, most likely, right? Or go-getter. They're drawing attention to themselves. They want to control the room. They want to control the group, right? Now, if I am a nurturer or an examiner and I go into the room and I see this group, am I going to get close to that group right away, naturally? What do you guys think? Am I going to be inclined to go and join the group where there's a big promoter if I'm an examiner or nurturer? Most likely not, right? But if let's say I am an examiner or I am a nurturer, and I see a few people sitting in their table by themselves, or just with two people or one other person, well, that's probably where we want to be more inclined to go to versus trying to compete with a promoter, right? So all I'm trying to say is, where is your low-hanging fruit? Where is it easier to connect with your potential referral partners? Because that's what we're going to get into the next, is who could potentially be those key people that are going to refer you business in the future, all right? All right, let's go to the next one.
Pablo, before we move to the next one, there's a question in the chat from Martin asking if there are more categories.
I'm going to say potentially yes. These are the ones I know, to be honest. You know, and I think, like I said, there's a mix. We mix between all of these. So the answer is I don't really know, to be honest. These are the ones that I can identify with. And, you know, we do kind of we jump between each one of these. We all have them, the four of us, at some level or another. And we just, you know, we jump from one to the other. And there's obviously the stronger ones versus others. Yeah.
There's also another question in the chat from Francine asking, where did the categories come from?
So these, Yeah, these come from it's actually an organization called BNI, and I'm going to mention it a little bit better. It was a course that I took a while back. But these are, if you Google them, Francine, there's lots of information on this on Google as well. So they come from, this is specifically ones I took from a course that I took a while. Yeah. Okay. All right. So let's go to the next slide. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the mechanics of actually how do we network properly so that we can get some results and get some traction. So when networking, always focus on how you can help others. Now, when I was from a gentleman way back a few years ago, that when I kind of started to, when I was presented with this idea, it was like, oh, this is a shift, right? And as we know, going through kind of the coaching process and as coaches, what have we learned, I guess, in the last few years and in sort of the coaching process is that this paradigm shift, this mentality shifts make a big difference, right? So what's the usual thing that we do? We go into a room to network because we're thinking, I need business. I'm here to get business. That's what I want. I want to walk out of here. You know, most likely a go-getter is going to say, I'm going to walk out of here with 20 business cards, 10 phone numbers, and 3 appointments for the next, for the next week. That's what a go-getter would do. They would be very focused on the results of that meeting, right? Whereas it doesn't really care. They're just there to, yes, they do their business, but they're there to mingle, interact, and make some noise, and whatever it is, but they may not have such a focus, right? But what I find is if we really want to have an efficient way of networking and growing our business, the key thing here is to focus on how we can help somebody else. Because the moment, what happens, I'm just going to put it in the chat. What happens when I help somebody? What if my focus is, I'm going to walk in and I meet Stephanie. Oh, Stephanie, what do you do? What do you do for business? And then Stephanie says, well, I'm an accountant. Great, Stephanie. Let's play a role here, Stephanie. You're an accountant, right? So Stephanie, I'm going to ask you, Stephanie, how can I help you? How can I help you? What do you need from me so I can help you grow your business?
I need customers.
Okay, you need customers. Mm-hmm. All right, so what kind of customers are you looking for, Stephanie?
I'm looking for people that are looking for my accounting skills. So really, I guess managers, maybe leaders. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So now it almost goes into coaching, right? A coaching experience right there, right? So we can apply our skills of connecting. And what are we doing? We're getting information. We're getting lots of information from this person. And the key thing here is you almost have to take, not almost, you take, again, it's very much a coaching practice, is you take yourself out of it, you become fully present with that person. They're going to feel you're present. You're going to feel your connection. You're going to feel you're paying attention. And if you make some notes, mental notes, you can actually, write it down. Met with Stephanie. She's an accountant. She's looking for X, Y, and Z clients, right? Okay, so that's one piece. But it's really, really important where if we come into the conversation around how can I help you versus, hi, I'm Pablo and I am a coach and I do coaching X, Y, and Z and I'm looking for blah, blah. Well, that's great, right? But if I go into the process of saying, Stephanie, how do I help you? Yes, I'm a coach and blah, blah. You know what? I really want to hear, I'm here to help you. How do I help you? How does that make you feel, Stephanie, potentially?
It makes me feel more supported.
Okay. And would that throw you kind of out of balance? With that, what's going on here? Were you expecting that? So again, go back to a room full of 50 people for networking, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. So yeah. Right. So that's the whole issue here. That's the whole message. Yeah. Right. We've addressed their need. It's about them. Exactly. So it's just applying what we're learning as coaches, but taking it to the next level. And that's what I'm going to show you now in a second. How do you take it to the next level? So the more you help, the more your business will grow. Do you guys agree with that? Is that a fair statement? Yes? Okay. So example, how do we help these people now, right? How do we help? So an example is we can help promote other people. So for example, if I'm going to help Stephanie grow her accounting business, then I really have to get to work and do the work. It's not enough for me to go to the event, learn from Stephanie. I now know she needs these types of clients. So now I got to put some work, some effort into this. And you're saying, what the hell? Why would I help Stephanie? Why would I put some time out of my day to help Stephanie when I've got my own thing to deal with, right? But here's the trick, right? When I help Stephanie, what happens? So Stephanie, I'm going to help you grow your business. Suddenly, you get a client calling you saying, hi, Stephanie, my name is Robert. And Pablo referred me because she says you're an amazing accountant. What happens with that when you hear that, Stephanie? What would happen to you?
Well, you're very appreciative of Pablo referring you.
Okay. So what's going to happen now next time you are? So now we went to this event. You met me as a coach. Now Pablo is sending you a referral who is a coach. What happens now?
I will potentially refer Pablo as a coach.
Yeah. So do you think you would now be actively or at least more actively potentially saying, okay, now how can I help Pablo now? He's helped me. He's brought me some business. Maybe I should help him. Maybe I should spend a bit of time, at least have him top of mind next time to see who I can send his way. Do you agree with that? He will be loyal. Exactly. Remember you. Sometimes, yeah. Francine, sometimes, yeah, sometimes. I agree with you. Sometimes, you know what? We go and we spend all this energy and we send people their way. Yes, it happens. That's the reality. So here's the trick to that is if we go to an event and we meet 10 people, let's say, what these 10 people need, and we get a bit of so we set aside a few minutes to say we go and like one of their posts in Facebook, let's say, on LinkedIn, on Instagram. So we help them somehow, or we send them a client. Here's the trick. We cannot expect them to do the same for us. It doesn't work like that. It's not a one-to-one, right? We put out the energy and we may get it back from them directly. We may not, but believe me and trust me on this. I've seen it work multiple ways that it comes back somehow. You just never know. It doesn't necessarily come back from the same source. Okay, fair enough. Okay. Okay, please. Okay, actually, can you go back for a second? I forgot to say something here. So I put here, some examples of how do you help them? How do you help these people? So it could be as easy as, okay, I met with Stephanie. She said she's looking for X and Y type of client. I could say, who do I know in my Rolodex that could potentially be a client of Stephanie? That's one easy one. What if I don't have anybody? If I don't have anybody, potentially go into Facebook and say, you know what? Obviously connect with Stephanie as a friend, befriends them on either Facebook or Instagram, and say, met this wonderful person today, obviously be real. And I had a great conversation. And this is what she's looking for, right? Because remember, somebody else is always going to be better at promoting us, right? So do you guys agree with this? It's harder for me to promote myself. It's easier for me to promote somebody else. Do you guys agree with that statement? Yes? Yeah, right? Why is that? Why is it easier for me to promote Stephanie's business that I have no skin in the game? I'm not going to make any profits out of it, but I can talk well about her. But I have a hard time talking about my business, and why is that? What's going on there? What do you guys think is going on? Important. Just put it on the chat. If you want, okay, that's a great one, Renee. Promoting me seems selfish. There is no fear there. Exactly. There's a fear factor, right? There's the insecurity of maybe I'm not good enough, right? I'm not as good as I think I am, right? Right? Yeah. Same reason. It's hard to write our own bio. Exactly. Absolutely, Peter. Yeah. So he has to promote somebody else and you could potentially bring his business. Why not do that, right? Like it's easy. Why not spend 10, 15 minutes a day? It doesn't take much. Grab one person. You either met them at this event or it's somebody that you just want to help for that day. Make a list and say, today I'm going to help Stephanie or whoever it is. I'm going to put something nice and it's important that you tag them on that post so that they see you're helping them, right? That's right. And one thing could be as easy as maybe they haven't, for example, maybe Stephanie promotes an event in Facebook or in Instagram or in LinkedIn. And all we want to do is take that post and share it with our network. That's very powerful. It's free marketing for them. And what's the average amount of people that he has on Facebook or on LinkedIn, right? Depends on who you are. If you're a promoter, it's over 500 people for sure. If you're more or a nurturer or examiner, maybe you've got less people, but it doesn't matter. It all adds up really, really fast. You're getting a lot of eyes on this potential event or this potential post, and it doesn't cost you anything, but it can make a big impact for that person. But it's very important that whatever you're doing for them, they see your efforts. Make sure they see that, okay? All right, next. Let me see, Diana. Through the pandemic, I've started experiencing the mantra. Yes, love that, Diana. It's beautiful. Yes, agreed. Okay, identifying your key referral sources. Now, this is a piece that's super, super important. Let's go back to that room. There's 50 people, and we're gonna connect with a few people here and there. Now, we may meet some people that are just completely not in sync with us. It doesn't matter how much we connect with them. Doesn't matter. They're just not looking for our services they're just not looking for our services, period, right? But out of those 10 potential 10 people you connect out of a 50-person group that you're going to take away, there may be one or two that they may not be your potential client, but they know people that could be your clients, right? And this is what we call referral partner. Referral partners are gold. Referral partners are what makes our businesses not grow. They make them go profitable. They make them go gigantic. It's the difference between spinning our wheels in network marketing or referral marketing versus actually growing our businesses. Does that make sense? Is everybody getting this? Referral partners are they're really the golden goose, right? Because they are the ones that are really going to feed our business in the future. Okay. Now, how do we find these referral partners, and how do we actually grow that relationship? That's the key thing, is how do we nurture that relationship? Because here's the thing, you can go to a lot of events and not get much business out of them. And you're spending the time, you're spending potentially some money. And so how do you really get the most out of these networking events? And that is focus on referral partners. If you do that, I promise you, you will get incredible results. Does that make sense? Is that something new that to you to some of you here in the webinar? Is this kind of a different way of approaching an event or a potential networking event? Okay. Say yes, no. Or it's like, Pablo, I knew all this stuff. Thank you. I'm gonna go get a coffee. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Good. I want to bring value to you guys. I don't want somebody here, repeating and talking. Makes sense. Okay. Yeah. Right. So when we focus on referral partners, what does that mean? So let's think about this for a second. What's a good referral partner for a coach? Put it in the chat. What's a good referral partner for, let's say I am looking to be a to get into organizations to coach CEOs, let's say. That's a pretty high ask, but let's just say I'm going to focus on corporate CEOs. What would be if I'm focusing on that market? Put in the chat. What do you think it is? An executive manager, yeah. A board member, sure. An HR person, okay. Other coaches in the space, yeah. These are all great responses. I'm just trying to get you guys to start thinking of where are your referral partners? Where are they sitting? Where can we find them, right? And the only thing, for example, other coaches. The only thing with having referral partners as other coaches is, as long as they're not competing in the same space, that works really well, right? But yes, other coaches can be great referral partners for sure, especially if you already built a good relationship with them. But let's say we're looking for brand new referral partners, because that's what we're trying to do here. We're going to grow our business. We're in growth mode. We're in sales mode. And how do we find connections like them? Yeah, sure. Now, that's a great one, by the way, Lori. Let's talk about that in a second. So let's say we have some potential referral partners we identify that are already in our Rolodex, and we need to connect with them right away. The key thing with referral partners is staying top of mind all the time. Not here and there. You have to be on all the time with these guys, because what happens is we get busy and that's it. So making a plan to stay at top of mind is really, really important. And that is make a list of, maybe it's going out with a coffee of one of these guys, whoever it is, right? So I'm just going to think of, maybe I'm looking for that CEO, potential getting into a CEO corporation to do some coaching, a corporate coaching. And maybe the person that I need to talk to is the HR manager. Okay. Rolodex, I've got an HR manager and we already know each other. We've worked together in the past. What do I need to do? I need to keep that relationship super fresh, right? Maybe I take them out to coffee every once a month. Maybe I give them a quick call, be like, hey, John, it's Pablo, just calling to say hi. How you doing? Just want to check in. Just to completely, it's not a sales call. These are just keeping top of mind. You're not calling to ask for business. This is really, really important. Do not ask for business. You're just keeping top of mind. You're just saying, hi, how can I help you, right? You're applying that, how do I help you? Is there anything I can help you with, right? Take them out to lunch. Maybe you've got an event that you want to invite them to. It's the opera, the Canucks, whatever it is. You want to build that relationship strong with these referral partners. This is where your business is going to grow, okay? It is key, okay? Does that make sense? Stay away from text and email. Why is this important? Why would you not just send a text, hey, hi, Stephanie, how you doing? Hi, Stephanie, how's it going? Text or an email, hey, what are you up to? Why would you stay away from text and email? Real quick. Put it in the chat. Why would you stay away from email and text? But for your referral partners, this is a key thing, right? They get way too many already. Yeah, sure. Not personal. That's it, Renee. It is not personal, right? You don't know how they're going to react. It's so impersonal, text and email. There's no reaction. There's nothing. You can't see that person. There's no tangible feeling and connection, right? Less likely for exactly. If I just get a text from somebody, it's like, oh, great. Yeah, I'm doing well. Bye, right? But if I take them out to coffee and we talk about something personal, guess what? They're going to stick, right? Okay. Looking for those common areas of interest as well. If you're networking, let's go back to the networking space again. It's a brand new potential referral partner. So now we're shifting, right? We're shifting from looking for clients to those referral partners, right? This is, again, if you spend your energy building your referral partner network, you're going to be busy. Don't worry about the clients. They're going to come, okay? So how do we keep working these referral partners from a real place, obviously, right? So how are you connecting? We always connect with things like hobbies, right? What are the things we personally like to do that to create a real connection. And that's when you're having that conversation, that one-to-one, hopefully, in that networking event is maybe I'm having that conversation with Stephanie around, how do I help you? And I know you're an accountant, and maybe I shift to, so Stephanie, what do you do for fun? What do you like to do on your downtime? Stephanie, what do you like to do?
Snowboard.
Perfect. There you go. What? Great, Stephanie. So maybe you're a snowboarder, maybe not, right? You're not. Maybe there's, what else? What else do you like to do, Stephanie?
Go for walks in nature.
Okay. Something, right? There's going to be something that you're going to connect at a personal, real, authentic level, and that's where you want to go. That's where you want to be, right? Because what's going to happen is next time is maybe you say, hey, Stephanie, what are you doing next Thursday? Let's go for a walk, right? Or Stephanie, how about we go, if I'm into snowboarding, hey, what do you say we go for next Tuesday, right? And then you're building that real close relationship with that referral partner. Make sense? Okay, let's go to the next one.
There's a couple of questions in the chat. We've had a couple of people ask the question about what if they're doing this virtually? How do you connect with people when you're not able to actually meet them in person?
Good question. Yeah, if it's an online network event, it's the same thing. The only thing that's going to be missing is obviously that personal, physical energy connection. But you can do this exact same thing if I'm, on a virtual Zoom. Most likely you're going to, hopefully you go, if it's a big Zoom, which I would think if it's a networking event, you're going to go out into breakout rooms. And then maybe what happens there, if it's let's say it's a 5 people breakout room, and then I'm just thinking you've got a big promoter in the room who's taking all the space and all the energy, and all the other 4 are just listening to this guy or this woman talk, and they're not getting a chance to put their foot in and have that initial. Maybe what you need to do there is take it offline, say, maybe you connect on the chat, or say, hey, can I please get your, hopefully there is some kind of an introduction to these people. And if there's somebody there, you say, I need to connect with this person because they could be a potential client or referral partner, then take it offline and try to do a one-to after, whether it's online or face-to-face. Does that answer your question? That's what I would do. Okay, let's go to the next one. Okay, really important. How are we doing on time, Stephanie? Are we good?
We're at 11:42, so we're good.
Okay. So, really important. How many of you say in the chat, have you got a business plan? How do you have a business plan for your coaching business? Or have you thought about creating a business plan? And when you think about a business plan, do you go, I'm excited, I'm going to build my business plan, this is great. But you're really like, oh no, geez, Pablo, what are you talking about? I don't want to freaking do this. What the hell, right? Just put it in progress. Okay, we got a few. No, yes. Putting it together now. Okay, great. So a bit of a mix. Yes, in progress. Okay. So why do you think and let me just clarify one thing. When you think of a business plan, do you think of this 12 to 15 page document that has a SWOT analysis and it has a profit and loss statement and all these things and target markets? Is that what you're thinking about a business plan? Or are you thinking a business plan that is like this? How much do I need to earn? And how much do I want to earn to profit? How are you thinking this? Keeping it simple. Yeah. Here's my recommendation. Keep it super simple. Put a business plan that's, a napkin. It's got your business plan should fit in a 1 page. Okay, so yeah, we've got somebody that actually builds, business plan. So that's even better. Okay, there you go. So I'm talking about keeping a very simple business plan here, right? Because if it's simple and you can do it quickly, you're going to do it. If it's, one of those templates, it's never going to get done. And guess what? that's not where you want to be. You want to be clear about what your business should look like. You want to be clear about how much revenue you should be bringing in. You should be clear about what's your break-even point. Does everybody understand what a break-even point is? Break-even point is, how much do I need to survive? If I've got a mortgage, if I've got a family, if I've got, how much do I need just to survive? I'm not saving any money, but I need to make X amount of dollars on a monthly basis. That's your break-even point, yes? This is important. We need to know that number. It's really, really important. Why is it important? Because reflect into how many, if you're going to do this, if you're doing or you're going to do this as a full-time business, this will tell you how many clients you need to have per month and how much they should be paying you per session to break even. So put in the chat, do you know your number? Everybody's different here. I'm not looking for numbers. I'm looking for, okay, yes, I'm looking for yes or no's. That's what I'm looking for. Yes. Okay, great. Alexandra, yes. Yeah, okay, no. Renee, okay. We got a few, okay, people. Benchmark the fees that fit your expertise, correct. So that's a great point there, Francine. We may be somebody that's going into coaching because we already have a whole whack of experience behind us. And maybe our coaching fee is $1,000 an hour, maybe, right? So maybe you're not worried about, you're at a stage in your life where you're not worried about meeting that nut, that monthly nut. Maybe that's the case, right? But I'm just going to assume that you're not there. So if you're working towards building a practice or a business that's going to give you an income to support your family or be an addition to your family's income, then that's what we're talking about here, right? And it's really important that we understand this piece, okay? And what's really, really important as well is that break-even point is going to tell you how many clients you're going to be looking for on a monthly basis. Let's break it down to monthly, weekly, daily, right? It's easier to break it down to, if I have one coaching session a day, or even maybe it's just 2 coaching sessions a week, that's enough for me, potentially, right? That's just break even. Now, when you have that in mind, now what happens if we go to the next level, which is, okay, I'm breaking even, it's all fine, but what if I want to go to the next level? What if I want to make this a real profitable practice in business, right? And I don't care what anybody says. Your own limitation is yourself. If you hear somebody say to you, there's not much money in coaching, yeah, I should do something else. Coaches don't get paid properly or well. If you ever hear that, then walk away, because that is not true. You can make a very profitable business coaching. There's no question. I know it, I've seen it. And I know a few coaches that do very well. No question about that, okay? And if you do have that question, please put it out there, and I'd love to see it. Also, so then profitable. Profitable means, now let's start dreaming. Let's go big. What does that picture look like? And you got to put this in your business plan. Okay, I want to have, let's say I'm having a coaching session a week at X amount of dollars, and I'm going to even. Now I want to take it to the next level, which is I want to have 3 coaching sessions a week or 1 a day, and now I'm seriously making money. And guess what? Now we talk about the trips, the cars, the dreams, right? Whatever that is for you, it's really important to have a guiding principle as a North Star. That's what's going to venture, okay? Make sense? Right. So make sure you do a business plan. All right. Okay. So where should you be networking? Be consistent, become the go-to person, dress for success. How far do you want to go? Okay. So we're actually going to take this to the next slide, please, if you don't mind, Jeanette. Next one. Yeah. Okay, there you go. Thank you. Fantastic. Okay. So I want to make sure that everybody leaves with some real key items from this webinar today. That's the whole point of this. So we're gonna share this presentation, right, Stephanie? Yeah, we're gonna share this. Yeah, okay.
Yes.
So number one, it's really, really important that you get clear. We talked about clarity. You know, be very clear about where's your target market, who are they, who do you love working with. Get your 7-second pitch down to a T. Make sure you understand that. Make sure you are very clear about your message out, because it's going to come. People are going to ask you, what do you do? Well, I'm just a coach. Well, no, you're not just a coach. We talked about it, right? Sources of networking events. So there's lots and lots of these events out there, as you guys may know or may not. Okay, here's a few. BNI. Put in the chat if you know BNI. BNI. I know BNI, and I have actually used them for other businesses very, very, very well. It's a mixture of things, but BNI is a system. It's called Business Network International. If you don't know about them, there's usually chapters all over the world, and there's local chapters, and there's multiple chapters in most cases, and they're a great way to network and grow your business. I would definitely recommend you go into there and check them out. Okay, if you've never heard of them, happy to give you some information on that. Chambers of commerce, local chambers of commerce in your area. There's tons of meetups, and when I think of meetups, think of your referral partners. Where is your referral partner going to go and sit around? So making that persona, identifying who they are, where are they going to hang out? So attend the meetups where those people are going to be. Okay. Toastmasters, Rotary clubs, business clubs and events. Any of those places are great places to just go out, and meet potential referral partners. Remember, now we've shifted from business to who's going to bring me business, right? That's a big shift. It's really important. Be of service. Remember, we talked about that. We're going to focus on the other person, not us, right? The more we help each other, the more we help the person, the more our businesses will grow, guaranteed, okay? And then having that, we didn't talk, did we talk about this? So having a clear ask, this is important, because as we're going through our process of networking, there will be a time where we may ask, okay, how can I help you? And they may return the favor and say, thank you for asking, Pablo. Can I return the favor now? Can I say, what are you looking for? So we got to be ready. We got to be ready to say, hey, what I'm looking for here's an example. I'm looking for introductions to heads of human resources at Microsoft or at whatever it is. Do you happen to know anyone at this organization? And would you mind making an introduction? Very clear asks are really, really important, because if we don't tell the person what we're looking for and what we need from them, they're not gonna know. They're not, we're lazy. That's a reality. We're so involved in ourselves. That's how we keep thinking, how can I get something out of this event, right? So if I'm not clear about my ask, that other person is not going to be able to help me get to where I need to be. And with that, I think we've got a few minutes left. I would like to take it back to you, Stephanie.
Thank you so much, Pablo, and thank you for providing your insight and knowledge about network marketing. We hope you are leaving this webinar with some new tools to help you grow your coaching business. Just as we wrap up here, I will open up the floor towards the end for some questions if you want to stay on. I just want to share a little bit about who's using Coaching Out of the Box. This is a bit of an overview of our students. You can see that we are all over the world, working with over 33,000 people from over 38 countries in various industries and job roles. We have something for everyone. If you can go to the next slide, please, Jeanette. Our upcoming programs, we have a fast track intake starting on Tuesday, July 12th, along with the 555 that begins that program. We have various other ones starting throughout the summer and into September. And we also have our diversity program, which starts October 4th. And this program is fantastic if you're already coaching or you've already taken coach training. This is another great program to jump into. And if you want to go to the next slide, Jeanette, I invite you to just take 20 seconds. So take a moment just to convert your thoughts into a question and tap into your natural curiosity and come up with a question that you'll be ready to ask if called upon. And I invite you to put it in the chat if you have anything to ask. And it looks like as we are slowly winding down here, I appreciate everybody joining us today. We really enjoyed the topic. Thank you, Pablo. And hopefully we'll see everybody on the next one.
Thanks, everybody. It was a pleasure. And I open up, if anybody needs to continue the conversation, please reach out to us or to me, and happy to help in any way I can. There
is a question in the chat from Lorena about virtual networking. Is there a difference in terms of this?
Virtual networking. No, I think it's, there's always going to be more power around physical connections. But the reality is with COVID, we learned that we can actually continue on in the virtual world. The virtual it's hard to have that one-to-one connection, but it's definitely doable. Like I explained a little bit earlier on, just make sure you try to take it to as much of a personal level as possible. So that means if you're meeting in a virtual network and then you're meeting with, breakout rooms of 3 or 4, you just take it down and down and down until you get to that one person connection of that event. So you do a one-to-one later with that person. It's really, so having that focused one-to-one time is the success of this.
Thank you, Pablo. And I guess we'll just hang on and see if there's any other questions that pop up in the chat. You can go to the next slide, Jeanette, if you want. Yes, I'll definitely be sending out the slides. And I just ask you our typical coaching question. What are you walking away with as a result of this webinar today?
Yeah, what are you walking away? And I wish everyone much success and happy to help, like I said, in any way we can. Yes, relationships are key. All right, thank you very much.
Thank you so much, everyone. And we'll stop the recording.